Armature reaction. It sounds abstract, but the idea is simple. It's the magnetic field produced by the ampere turns, N times I, flowing in your stator slots, and how that field interacts with the permanent magnet field that's already there. Here's the mental model I want you to walk away with. Your windings are not passive. The instant current flows through them. They generate their own magnetic field, right there, in the same air gap the rotor magnets are using. Two fields, one air gap sharing the same space. The question for the rest of this video is simple. How much does that second field actually matter? Here's the reassuring part first. For a typical surface magnet motor, under normal operating conditions, armature reaction flux density in the air gap is usually under 10% of the flux density coming from the permanent magnets. Why so small? Two reasons. Magnet recoil permeability is close to 1, meaning the magnet behaves almost like air magnetically, and the magnet's physical length exceeds the air gap length. Together, that means the magnet effectively dominates the reluctance of the air gap, and the coil currents field just can't compete on equal terms. The same coil current also adds some flux in the stator teeth and shoes, but under normal conditions, that too stays well below what the rotor magnets already put there. So, when does this stop being a footnote? Ideally, the magnetic field inside the motor is simply the linear superposition, the straightforward sum of the magnet field and the coil current field. You could just add them together and get the right answer. In reality, the stator iron doesn't behave that way once it saturates. Ferromagnetic material has a limit, and past that limit, the two fields stop adding linearly and start interacting non-linearly. When that happens, motor performance measurably diminishes. The good news is this: as long as the stator teeth and shoes aren't already heavily saturated by the magnets acting alone, armature reaction generally isn't something you need to worry about. But there's one scenario where this stops being a minor effect and becomes a real risk: fault conditions. If the power electronics driving the motor enter a fault state and motor current exceeds its normal range by an order of magnitude or more, the armature reaction field can grow large enough to actually demagnetize the rotor magnets permanently. That's not a performance dip. That's damaged hardware. So here's the practical takeaway. Under normal running, armature reaction is a quiet background actor, small, usually harmless. What's actually standing between a healthy motor and permanently demagnetized magnets is your drive's current limiting and fault protection. Respect that boundary, and armature reaction stays exactly what it usually is: a footnote, not a failure.